to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
If you're
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
It's 7 a.m. Time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico
For 5 years running. It's the OD and the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Can you destroy something before it's really huge? Can you eat yourself from within? Can you be your own worst enemy? Can the old adage, no publicity is bad publicity, actually not be true? Yeah. And be careful. Good morning to you and welcome to the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. It is election day in the land of enchantment. Get out and exercise your right to vote. Hope you are so inclined. How you living today?
What it do?
It do a lot, man. It do a lot. You know, this lull between the end of the Western Conference and Eastern Conference finals of the National Basketball Association and the conference finals in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And we're going to, starting Thursday, and then we'll get, Saturday and Sunday, we're going to get back into final. And I think the conversation is going to go back onto the courts and the ice in regards to the competition. But the WNBA is gotten more, and it's everywhere. It's not just on shows like this. It's not just in sports formats. It's spilled over into everything. The antenna that's gone out is massive. And JJ, I hit a point yesterday where, and it's kind of become a talking point I've heard this morning. Be careful, because at some point I think people are just going to go, you know what? I didn't like the product before. I really don't like what I'm watching. Like I don't need it. And do you think all the mess, all the noise, all the Caitlin Clark, all the hate, the look at me, the cattiness, and I use that word and I understand it's sensitive, using it because it's women. But I'm at the point now where I think they're on a brink of it being detrimental, and people just going, man, my life was fine without it and I don't need it.
I think you always do run into that with stories, but then there's times where you have to realize that we have to step out of our bubble, and we hear it a lot more than even a casual sports fan does.
Yeah.
The amount we're consuming versus people that are in and out all day, even if they hear it once or twice. But this is something that we knew it was going to be big. I didn't think we knew it was going to be this big with Caitlin Clark and the WNBA reaction. Yeah. And I do think that while some, the veterans had said some things that the hip check, I think, is throwing this out of whack, because Caitlin Clark is not getting flagrant fouled every game. Like, you're being physical with a guard as you would any shooter that is playing a game of basketball. But what occurred on Saturday just sent it over the top. And there's this sense of people that haven't been watching that this is happening every game.
I also believe the reaction and the response since, and the justification from Kennedy Clark, from Kennedy Carter, from Angel Reese, from the people. Well, it's just a basketball play, and I know you don't think it's flagrant. I do. It was a shoulder check 90 feet from the basket on an inbounds play when the ball hadn't even been inbound. It was intentional. We agree on that. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. And the absolute defense of the play from the people who are involved with it, I think it has gotten there. And then it's everybody, look at me. Well, I'm responsible for women's basketball on the rise, and it's not just her. Has everybody else, have the other rookies gotten their quote unquote welcome to the WNBA moment? Has Angel Reese gotten hers? Has Camila Cardoso gotten hers? Have the young lady, and the name's escaping me, from the Sparks, but have the other rookies gotten their quote unquote welcome to the NBA moments like Caitlin Clark? Well, that's just welcome to the NBA moment, rookie.
Well, it's not. It was, Kennedy Carter was going out of her way to foul Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
And to try to make a statement, because there is some jealousy. There's, as a competitor, I think that it's the line of challenging versus attacking, and that was attacking Caitlin Clark. I don't think it was the cheapest shot I've ever seen. We don't need to rehash that.
100%.
But what then happens is exactly what those players don't want. Well, it's what you did. It's Kennedy Carter, who, by the way, had game high points scored in that game.
Okay.
No one knows that. But now it's like you go over the top, take a shot at Caitlin Clark, and then you took that shot because you made it personal. You made it about not basketball at that point in time. So what do you think the fallout is going to be? It's just that, and then they're upset that that's the fallout.
All right. There's a lot to this, and I'm getting to a point where I think a lot of people are, where go do your thing. But I'm curious as where you are. 505-246-0610 is the number. It is every day. 505. Put it in your phone. I know you already have it. Please. 505-246-0610. That is the Sports Animals phone line. It is also the Sports Animals text line. Your emails come in at jeff@sportsanimalabq.com and jj@sportsanimalabq.com. There's a lot of places to go with this. JJ, there's a part of me that said we saw this coming. And you just kind of alluded to part of it. Maybe we didn't see it coming to this extent. But this is one of my, I mean, I told you, we love to build people up, to knock them down, to build them up again. And whoever we are, I mean, collectively as a society, it happens all the time. And society built up Caitlin Clark, and now there's facets of it that are trying to bring her down. I'm going to tell you that listening to the response, watching it, and it's divisive, and I guess everything in our country is divisive, right? You got to pick a side. Listening to some of the rhetoric, the jealousy, the resentment, and yes, there's a racial piece to this as well. I mean, we can't deny that aspect of it also, what's going on. But you can't change who you are. Angel Reese, do you have the Angel Reese soundbite? You want to play it now, or you want to play it when we come back from the break? When we come back from the break, I'm going to let you hear this. And I think if you've not heard it, you want to hear this. It's a bit of look at me. It's a bit of woe is me. It's a bit of why, like, we'll get there. JJ, so many places on this. Here's where I firmly believe this is going to end up. I believe when it's all said and done, people are going to go, yeah, whatever. You know what? Let the WNBA go do their thing. And I've got women screaming, and they're not wrong. The WNBA has been here for, 2 decades? 3 decades? And has it been undercovered? I don't know if undercovered is the right word. It's been covered to the point, I believe, where people cared. Did we miss a lot of stories? We have. If Caitlin Clark is the reason that people are going to start learning about Angel Reese and Kennedy Carter and everybody else, then ride it. But the whole "what has she done" thing, are you kidding me?
I do say I think there's a pushback that the WNBA is getting thrown under the bus because of the action of 2 Chicago Sky players in one game.
It might be right. No,
it was
very well be
Carter. Yeah, Carter went out her way to try to prove a point to Caitlin Clark, whatever point she wanted to prove, of jealousy, you name it. But then people are saying the WNBA is not protecting her, this or that. Like I think it's gotten out of control, or people think that happens every game to Caitlin Clark. And you know what? It's a physical game. Mm-hmm. You're a shooting point guard.
Yeah.
They're going to try to get physical with you. And now there's this sense of that's the only thing that's been happening to Caitlin Clark, yada, yada, yada. And it's what you're discussing is how do you fight through that? Because it's okay to have drama in sports. It's okay to have rivalries. Let's not act like just because the WNBA has stories that might rub us the wrong way, we don't do this with the NFL every other day.
Yeah.
So
that's a great point. No, your point's so really good, right? This isn't happening every night, and people think it is. It's in some respects the comments, and you're right. It's this team in particular, is the Chicago Sky, and maybe they love the villain role, and you'll hear.
Well, and because of that one player, and it's been made by so many more people. The stories for 2 years that were written of LSU and their style and their swagger versus all the good old girls at Iowa.
Look,
that's going to eat at anyone.
And that's a race thing. I mean, it was literally, it was the Southern black girls against the Midwestern white girls. It was. I mean, you can mask it all you want. You can call it whatever you want. Wholesome versus what's the word?
Yeah, it was like convicts versus Catholics type of deal.
It was that kind of thing. Yeah, and Angel Reese said, well, you'll hear it when we come back. You need to hear what Angel Reese said, and get into it. And look, there's a lot in there that she's dead on. There's a lot of frustration. Is she handling it the right way? I'm going to kind of ride this contention until you talk me off of it, and maybe you will, maybe you won't. I think WNBA is going to go back to being what the WNBA was. Nobody's going to care, because I think when football starts, when you get back into the NBA Finals, you know what, man? Hearing these people just complain about each other, and you're not going to give a damn. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
When you have sport.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on? Who are you guys?
Well, sir, I'm going to pick you up at the DWI checkpoint for drunk driving.
And that's when I have to come down to get you out of jail.
Well, temporarily. I'm Judge Torres. They call him the Hammer. Hey, hot off the presses, champ.
I'm real proud of you, honey.
Way to make them happy back home, Captain. Who's that? That's your new buddy in jail.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom!
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. and Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Do you care? Are you totally into it? It's really kind of crazy. We've done this for a lot of years, and the WNBA has been a passing conversation, and the popularity of women's sports and certainly women's basketball has accelerated exponentially over the last year, but last couple of years. And the entrance into the WNBA of Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese and some of these other stars has made it something that has crossed over and expanded the audience. But can they damage themselves? You don't know who won that Sky Fever game. You know that Caitlin Clark played against somebody who shoulder checked. Do you know the score? Do you know the team? If all you're talking about is off-court stuff, is that good for the game? Because the conversation, well, I mean, all publicity is good publicity. At least people are talking about women's basketball. I don't even know that they're talking about women's basketball. And that's where I think that they're at a precipice. And, JJ, you are dead on right. The narrative has become this is happening to Caitlin Clark every game. The reality is it's not. And so is it detrimental? Angel Reese has been a rival for Caitlin Clark, and we've all thought this was a good rivalry, right? We thought this was a magic bird kind of a thing through college. LSU, Iowa. They met in the NCAA tournament 2 years in a row, once in the championship game, once in the Elite Eight. LSU won the championship. Iowa knocked them out the next year in the Elite Eight, right? It was, you have the racial component, the style component. One talks a lot of bleep outwardly. One talks it on the court. I mean,
there's a lot of bleep from these players.
To think Caitlin Clark doesn't talk junk on the court, it was like to think Larry Bird did, right? I mean, it's the same concept in a lot of respects. All right, Angel Reese was on the Chicago Sky team, the team against whom the Fever and Caitlin Clark played on Saturday. She is teammates with Kennedy Clark. Kennedy Carter is the one who shoulder checked Caitlin Clark. There's a lot in this. We may play it twice, but this is Angel Reese yesterday in regards to everything that's going on.
it all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, like, yeah, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, like, just because of one single game. And just looking at that, like, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me, too, and I want y'all to realize that.
There's a lot in that 40 seconds. What'd you hear?
A lot of it is, I think, for Angel Reese, the person, no one wants to be the villain. You can say you're going to embrace the villain role, but no one wants to be that. And when you've been pretty much like a year and a half, 2 years of placed in that role because you're not the fan favorite Caitlin Clark is, easy to say, harder to do, like to wrap your mind around that. And then you have this incident that is highlighted that you're a part of, but I think the actions of Angel Reese ultimately continue to play into that. And at some point for her, like, you have to let everyone else do the talking about it and just play basketball, and the storylines will still be there. You don't have to answer every question. I think it gets to a point in sport of it's okay to be cliche. And I think for Angel Reese not sometimes, I think as she learns this, like, she doesn't have to answer every question with a specific answer because it ain't easy being the villain. And she's been painted that way. Now she's trying to, like, talk about it and embrace it. No, it's like your actions, what you do, you want to be a rival, but yet you don't want to be viewed as the bad guy in all this. Just play basketball right now and let everyone else talk about it.
Fair interpretation. I heard a angry woman who I think it's a young lady who's been angry for a while. She said, I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. I imagine. Dealing with, but dealing with what? Dealing with being the villain? In a large respect, her actions / words have fed into that. This wasn't something that was fabricated. Her actions, it all started with the hand gesture, right? The hand gesture, when she did the John Cena hand gesture, I can't see you, right? The whole thing in the championship. She opted to do that. That's where it started. I agree with you. It's hard to be the villain. Remember when LeBron was kind of cast in that role, and there was a minute where he said, yeah, I'm going to embrace it, and he couldn't because he just wanted to be loved, right? And I think everybody wants to be liked. Everybody wants to be loved. Nobody wants to be the villain. Nobody wants to be the person who's taken all the.
I think a lot of it, too, is Angel Reese, all these other players. Yes, you are working hard. You're talented. But the reason is Caitlin Clark. And sometimes
the reason what is?
Like, the reason we're talking about this, the reason the numbers are going up is because of Caitlin Clark. I think to your point, women's sports as a whole has seen a bump. Not a bump like that.
No, this was a
and it's hard at times. I know what that's like, of being a part of something where you realize that you're not the focal point. You're like, yeah, I work hard at this or that, but I think I don't know how you wrap your head around that as a competitor.
Yeah, it's going to be hard.
Of understanding, like, everyone is it's easy, to scream, no, it's Caitlin Clark, yada yada, this or that. Which, yes, that's true. But when you're one of those players, you're in that league, you're like, I've been working hard too. Where's my respect? And it's like, well, 100%. It didn't come until Caitlin Clark, and you got to deal with
it. And for Angel Reese, right? I got to believe in her gut and in her heart, she is convinced she's a better player than Caitlin Clark. In fact, she is a champion, and Caitlin Clark is not. Right? I mean, Angel Reese won a national championship. Caitlin Clark didn't. Angel Reese beat Caitlin Clark for a national championship, but yet she's getting all the love. And it is partially persona. It is partially how you opted to project yourself. It is. Okay? The whole, I want y'all to remember, I'm part of the reason too. It sounds like a frustrated and borderline desperate plea for a look at me. And it's really early in this young lady's career. It's going to come, man. It's going to come. What prompted that? It was a press conference.
It was a media scrum. And I think they were asking both players because it was Reese and Carter.
Yeah. I always wonder what the context is, right?
And so they're talking about the rivalry and the foul and the flagrant foul. And I think the players were kind of getting a little upset because it was a sense of, why is everyone attacking Caitlin Clark? Why are you attacking Caitlin Clark? And they're like, well,
I mean, dude, Kennedy Carter went out of her way to I don't know, you attack, you call it what you want. That was a damn attack. When someone's not looking and you chuck them to the ground.
I'll take that all day over stuff people want of going to the basket.
Again, I'm not arguing, are there cheaper shots? And do you get hit harder in the act of play? There's a, so actually I'll ask you this because it's on the text line. And I want to read it verbatim. I got to remember which one here. It says, can you ask JJ, can JJ define a cheap shot?
Dude, what is so hard about this? Like Rudy Tomjanovich, Draymond Green. Like those are cheap shots. If it's a hip check, yeah, you're not expecting it, but it was not a two-handed shove where there's a running start. Like Carter took a couple steps. And if you watch any of Caitlin Clark, yes, she took a shot that was low over the top. She plays like Manu Ginobili, man.
She goes down.
I have seen harder hits. I've seen a lot dirtier shots. And because this is Caitlin Clark, people want to put bubble wrap on her.
I will tell you that I have seen worse shots, cheaper shots.
Like I think you can have a non-basketball play that's not a cheap shot.
To me, that's a cheap shot. Coming from the blind side in a play where there's never any contact, to throw a full-weighted shoulder into somebody with the intent to hurt is a cheap shot. How is that even close to a basketball play? What was she guarding? She wasn't guarding. She was there to knock her on her ass.
And how's that any different than when people say do it when you're going to the basket, which is a lot more dangerous, which is a lot harder. When people scream that all the time, oh, this person's getting them, and put them on their ass.
There's dirty plays on the way to the basket too. There are. There's different degrees. I'm not telling you that's the worst I've ever seen. I think that was cheap. I think that was dirty. I think that was to me there was nothing basketball about that. Now, is it the most egregious I've ever seen? To your point, like I'm on your side with that, 100%. I've seen way worse, and people get hit way harder in the air.
If you played sports, you've gone out of your way to run into somebody.
Probably right.
That's not always in the context of a basketball game. Now, was she expecting it? No, but to me, that was a lot closer to like an illegal screen where you put your hip out and a person's running through it. Like you're not expecting that extra contact. Maybe a screen's coming.
Yeah. I think you and I are going to...
I think it would be a lot different as she straight up like shoved her two hands in the back, got a running start. It was a couple steps, boom, hip in.
What would have happened in the NBA if somebody, give me Kennedy Carter equivalent in the NBA. You got one?
Like a bench player bumped in the Kyrie.
Did that to Steph Curry.
It's the same thing. Because it's easy to scream about it after the fact. Yeah. But to me, I think the refs, like that contact was nothing. Like, my goodness. Like I'm watching a replay right now on ProView Networks, and this is what we're crying about.
Yeah. Yeah, this was
like,
the whole world.
There's the refs were standing right there. Her teammate was right there.
Yeah.
And there's a reason there was not an overreaction. Because that was not like, oh my gosh, you went to destroy this person.
Who's the teammate that was standing right there?
It was Aaliyah Boston.
If she would have got up there and
if she would have,
let's just say punched, let's shove Kennedy Carter.
Yeah. I think if you
that
got,
been all right? What if she hit her? Punched her?
No, that would not have been okay.
That would have been okay. That would have been too much. Then she'd have been the bad guy.
Yeah, because that was nothing. Right. That's like if you turned the corner and you bumped into someone that you didn't see.
Kind of.
Like that's the contact we're crying about.
Yeah.
Look at this again.
Yeah. No, I'm staring at it.
That's nothing.
I'd argue that it's nothing. I think it's a lot more.
If you think that's a cheap shot,
I do.
Then I'm going to put the Kobe Bryant soft.
All right.
We're all soft.
I think that's a cheap shot. I think that's going out of your way to knock someone on their ass in a non-basketball play when they're not looking. Yeah, to me, that's a cheap shot. Then define cheap. Like, what's cheap?
Like, it's a foul, but it's not cheap.
That's
barely
just a
bumped
common
into it.
foul to you.
Yeah.
All right, we're watching a totally different thing over and over, and Adrian's playing it over and over. We're watching a totally different
Like,
thing.
I think she went out. Yeah, you can go out of your way to make contact with someone that's not intentionally trying to destroy them. Like, Caitlin Clark went
You
down.
think she just ran into her?
No, she
sorry.
wanted to put her on her backside.
Yeah.
We
in a play
scream
where you
about
never
players
get
doing that all the time.
in the context of a game. No,
I'm doing the same amount of contact
and the
and
hip
nothing
check.
is moving.
At least I'm sending a pick. I'm trying to set a pick. Like the ball's the guy's coming around me. Like there's a basketball play going on around me. All right, we're just going to disagree on this one. I mean, if you call me soft on that, I call him crap on that. But I mean, I think like I was listening to pro basketball players define this, and there's some on your side too. But
like, can you take a little bit of a shot at someone without it being cheap? Because that was a shot at Clark, but I don't look at that and go like, oh my gosh, she's trying to take her out of the game. She's trying to end her career.
So that's a non-cheap shot. That's a shot, but it's okay because why? I mean, tell me,
like, why is any foul okay then? Just because you're playing basketball?
Some of them are, some of them are in the context of the game. Yes, yeah. And a hard foul go in the basket. I'm not going to let you get to the basket. I mean, now
there's a lot more dangerous things that can happen there.
Again, I've agreed with you every time you said that.
But yet we look at that and we're like,
every time you say that, I agree with you. There's way more egregious.
So yeah, that's different as a cheap shot. If someone wants to come at me and do that to me on the basketball court by sending a message, I'll take that all day. You hip checked me. Woo.
Why not wait till she drives the rim, goes to the basket,
because then that's how you can hurt someone.
But that's within the context of basketball.
Why is it okay to be in the context of basketball?
I'm trying to block a shot. Are you trying? Well, there's a big key too. Am I trying to hurt you, or did you get hurt?
Because you're putting someone on their backside, you got to go through them.
Well, then we're going to start saying, well, then you can't defend somebody when they're in the air because they can get hurt. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's why they call so many things flagrant fouls.
That's why it's a contact sport. But there was no sport involved in what was going on there. All right, we're going to disagree on this. 505-246-0610. We'll turn the page when we get back. We got a bunch of NFL stuff. Cowboy fan, a legend, passed away way too young and way too suddenly yesterday. We remember him next on the opening drive. A 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Zone.
This message brought to you by
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on? Who are you guys?
Well, sir, I'm going to pick you up at the DWI checkpoint for drunk driving.
And that's when I have to come down to get you out of jail.
Well, temporarily. I'm Judge Torres. They call him the Hammer. Hey, hot off the presses, champ.
I'm real proud of you, honey.
Way to make them happy back home, Captain.
Who's that?
That's your new buddy in jail.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom. Boom.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
That was outright assault. That was assault.
You asked me to define what a cheap shot is.
Yeah.
Young driver, this one.
Yeah.
What else do you want? We don't agree.
We have different definitions of a cheap shot. And I'm going to tell you there's different variants of a cheap shot. That's where I am. I agree with you. When you tell me I've seen way worse and way more egregious.
Like if someone wants to send a message on a basketball court, it's not always going to be in the game of basketball or talking sport. Sometimes you're going to be contact that's outside of that. I think that was contact outside of it doesn't necessarily make it cheap. Like I think if it was a shove, running, going through, elbows high, arms, like anything along those lines, feeling a lot different than, oh, put me on my backside. Yeah. Like there was a reason that even Caitlin Clark didn't lose her mind. She was just, oh, where's the whistle? And Aaliyah Boston jogged over, and it wasn't called a flagrant foul.
Right. Initially. Yeah.
Well, it was called it after the fact because they realized, oh, yeah, we can't have this happen all the time. But it wasn't the worst thing we've seen on the basketball.
All right, there's a huge call that the league's got to do something. Do you believe the league needs to do something?
If that were happening every night, yes, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, and that's therein is the biggest
and guess what?
Misconception.
To the text line, to everyone else,
yeah,
I am the Angel Reese of this show. I will embrace that role. Because Jeff,
you've been dealing with this for 2 years.
Yeah. You could say the sky is green. I'd be like,
we win
no.
all these awards, not just for one person. Damn it!
But you could say the sky is green, and I'd be like, well, Jeff, it's blue, and the text line would be like, well, JJ, you're an idiot. Jeff said it's green.
I don't know if that's right. Gopher says Beaver equal opponents of the Isotopes. Jeff, I think you could survey folks in the park if 50% wouldn't know who's wearing the road uniforms. I think it's more. Ditto, I think most folks who are watching Caitlin Clark couldn't name the team she plays with. Might be right. That's what I'm just telling you, man. I think this thing is in danger, and whether it's a bloated narrative or not, JJ, I think people are just gonna go, I don't give a damn anymore, man.
It is fascinating about you have this intense back and forth. People are carrying, it's blowing up on social media. Everyone has a comment on it. Does it carry over to any viewing of this sport? Or are they even okay with that at this moment in time?
Yeah. All right. So 505-246-0610. I'm going to ask you this question too. We'll learn the answer here in a few weeks. 3 weeks from now. So you're going to be at the end of June. Football camps are going to be open. Football media days are a week away, 2 weeks away. You're going to have the NBA finals over. The draft is going to be coming. Stanley Cup final. Are you going to give a damn if it continues down the what the hell is that? The phone line just lit up like a Christmas tree. Are you going to give a damn about any of this? Because I'm gonna guess beforehand you didn't care anyway. And now
But that's also the reason why they play summer.
Because they have the stage so much to themselves against baseball.
Like, yes,
I think that's right. I think there's a big part of that. And if you were calling, you can get in now. There you go, 505-246-0610. But so they were on the precipice of taking advantage of that. They were on the doorstep of capitalizing on that's why they play summer. And their numbers were going up, and they were going to go up. But in 3 weeks, if it continues with this is again, why don't y'all tell me who Kennedy, who spells it Kennedy, Carter plays for, or who won that game?
This is a big story, and this is a big talking point.
3 weeks from now, anybody going to give a damn about watching games?
No, but I also think 3 weeks from now, if they're just playing basketball, it's easy to say who gives a damn, this or that. Should we give a damn if there's a good game? If you're on a score,
you should have 5 years ago,
but none of us did.
Right.
We never gave it the time of day.
Right.
On these platforms.
That's kind of my point.
So should we?
Maybe.
Like everyone's saying, what's going to happen next? Well, once this goes away, are we going to mention
I don't know.
basketball stuff?
I'm going to lean towards no. I mean, that's kind of where I'm leaning. 505-246-0610. Fred, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Fred. Let's turn Fred's up. Let's turn him up. Hold on. All right, Fred, go ahead. I got you now. Go ahead.
No, as I say, usually I agree with everything JJ says, but that was definitely being blindsided. I mean, it was just such a cheap shot. It was unbelievable. And the thing is, I've been watching. I haven't really watched WNBA until she started playing, and I've been watching all her games. And I tell you what, that's not the only time too. I remember Reese about 3 games ago just gave her an elbow and knocked her flat on the floor. And a lot of girls are starting to hit her. I think they're just jealous. And
there's a resentment.
I just hope they loaded. I heard JJ say that the schedules are all the same, but he's wrong about that too. It's not even close. They played 11 games when Vegas only played 6 games, and Atlanta played 7 games, and Chicago only played 7 games, and they just loaded up her schedule where she looks tired, and she's getting beat up so bad. I just hope nothing happens to her. I really do, because she just means so much. If you look at the crowds, there's sellout crowds at
on the road
in L.A.,
yep.
But when L.A. plays somebody else, there's only maybe 6,000, maybe 8,000 people instead of 18 or 17,000. The same in New York. I noticed in New York it was a sellout. The game before that, they had 9,000. It means so much. People are going to see her, but she's getting beat up too bad. I don't know what's going to happen. I really do. She just looks tired. She looks, I don't know. But anyway,
that's good. Your point's right on that she looks tired. She just played a full season. So did Angel Reese. And TV wanted her on every game. I mean, they did. TV wanted to put her on. I think 30 of their 32 games are on national TV, right?
Well, I mean, she scored 3 points is all this last game, and it seemed like, she wasn't bringing the ball down the court. She was standing around. If you look, she's standing around and not moving like she normally does. She's just not the same player, and I hope this doesn't affect her. Anyway, that's all I was talking about.
I appreciate you.
Talk to you later, guys.
All right, I got to take this break. If you're there, please stay there. I want to hear what you have to say. 505-246-0610. What are you shaking your head for?
Yeah, okay, we can pick 2 teams that have played 6 games and the rest have played 8 to 11. Okay.
Yeah, they played. I think what was it, 11 and 19 days or something. Yeah, it's a lot. 505-246-0610. Keep them coming on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Discover.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I give you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
Is there cheaper, is there dirtier, is there more egregious? Yeah. 505-246-0610. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. We go to the phones. Grady, thanks for holding. You're on the Sports Animal. Good day, sir. How you living?
sports void fillers of the OD and the AM. I'm living all right. How about you guys?
Let's screw it. What's going on?
You know, well, let me just say, Les, please cover your ears. So, Jeff, you mentioned that there's a racial aspect to this, and you can't deny it, and I agree 100%. And I think it's actually working against Caitlin Clark, and here's what I mean. Caitlin Clark, because she's a slight white girl from the Midwest, is not perceived as tough. She's not perceived as, she's not a banger. She's like, oh my gosh, she's not perceived as someone that can handle the physical abuse that she's allegedly getting. And I think she's probably, well, I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth. I would imagine that, she's probably just as proud of her toughness as anyone else. But when you're out there, and again, the perception you're getting knocked around by these big, thick black girls, then it looks like that she's at a disadvantage to a lot of people because of the racial dynamic. And I think that kind of playing into the debate that or the debate that you and JJ are having. First of all, I haven't heard spice like that since Edward said Kobe wasn't a top 10 player. But it was.
He was. I don't know who was more wrong.
I think it plays into it. I think the way she looks plays into it. A lot of people see their daughters out there getting pushed around by these big, thick girls, and I don't think she's been given her due as a tough,
I think that's fair,
professional women's basketball player.
Can I ask you a question? Does it sound like when Larry Bird came into the league? White guy from the Midwest,
well,
little slighter than some, and wasn't perceived as being as tough, and had to kind of earn his way in?
I would say that, but to me, the biggest difference, Larry Bird was the villain. Larry Bird essentially came in, and he was wearing the black hat.
Yeah, that's right.
Whereas Magic was, he was America's darling. He was the good guy.
That's right.
So I do agree with that to a certain extent, because Larry Bird did have to prove himself, but he didn't come in as the hero. And just real quick to this, and I got a boogie. Angel Reese's comments, and just maybe a little bit different perspective. To me, Angel Reese sounds like a lot of black women. She's grown up as a black girl, a dark-skinned black girl that always had to remind everybody that she's just as pretty as everyone, that she's just as good as everyone, because she was initially not placed in those categories, probably from elementary all the way through high school. We wouldn't get on here and talk about Angel Reese as being delicate, as being vulnerable. And a lot of that, quite frankly, has to do with the way she looks. So, and that's something to me that's a very familiar tone that she is coming with. And is it a lot of sour grapes or what have you? Well, some of it is, but I can also tell you, someone who has a sister that looks a lot like Angel Reese, a lot of that is, it's a defense mechanism, because they weren't always given credit for being feminine, for being pretty. They were always just a strong, tough black woman, and there's more to it than that.
It's interesting. So Angel Reese is listed at part of it's going to be she's 6'3", 165. So she's not considered delicate. Like, I'm trying to find exactly where. What would you perceive Caitlin Clark to be? If 6'3", 1 whatever, what did I just tell you, 165? So you don't consider that to be, would you tell me, delicate? Is that the word you use? Right? Where Caitlin Clark is listed at 6 feet, $152. She's not small, but looks smaller out there, right?
Right.
Yeah. But I think there's a lot of validity in what you're saying. 100%. All right, man. Appreciate you. Look, I and that's your perception. I know I asked when we played the Angel Reese sound, what did you hear, right? And I appreciate that. That's what Grady heard, and I don't think that he's wrong. We all, I mean, whatever, you grow up a certain way, you hear what you hear, because of what you look and what you perceive. Do I have time for this, or do I need to hold this? I got about a minute. Rudy, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's up?
Good morning. The goose that laid the golden egg is more than a cautionary tale. And when you see what's going on, the WNBA, whoever the commissioner is, needs to send out a memo and do the old Barney Fife line, and they need to nip it in the bud, because it can't get racial. It better not get racial, but it already is. It can't get about pushing around the new girl who's making them all a bunch of money and getting eyes on them, but it already is. And people need to back off, and that was a cheap shot. Caitlin didn't even see it coming. If you're going to cheap shot somebody, let them see it coming. That was a blind side. You can really hurt somebody doing that. Now, was it Kermit Johnson punching Rudy Tomjanovich in the nose and ruining his face? No. But if it doesn't stop, it could get there, and that would just be a horrible thing for the WNBA. What I always appreciate about women's basketball was the finesse and the true nature of the game, and I think some of that's just been blown right out the window, and I hope they get back to it. That's my 2 cents.
Thank you, Rudy. Appreciate you. Yeah, no, it wasn't Kermit Washington and Rudy Tomjanovich, but, it is what it is. Lobo Hobo says, JJ's wrong. You're wrong, Scott. You're wrong is what it says. Beaver have canned 11. Everyone else is in the 6 to 9 range. I didn't count that.
2 games more than everyone else. You're going to be a little bit tired. And at the end of the year, what's going to happen?
They're all going to play the same? What?
Yes.
Connecticut Sun have played 8 games. They haven't lost one yet. Liberty have played 9. Minnesota's 8. Vegas only played 6. That guy was right. And the Fever played 11. They haven't played Washington yet, have they? Washington's 0-8. Maybe they get them. All right, keep them coming. This is good. We'll talk to Kenny. Kenny Thomas will be with us at 9. I'm really interested in his thoughts. Good conversation this morning. What did you hear when you heard? And we'll play it again for you. Is that all right? We'll play Angel Reese's comments. What did you hear, or what will you hear when you heard Angel Reese talk about it? But my feeling is, man, they better be careful, because they're gonna destroy what they're building. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Center.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them
in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
You heard Boomer Esiason. What's happening to her is an absolute disgrace. All right, good. What's up? Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck. Glad you're with us on a Tuesday. Phone line's been hot. Text line is moving as well. It's the same number, area code 505-246-0610. Come on in and join us. Area code 505-246-0610. Emails, Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com and JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. We're talking about the WNBA, but we're not really talking about the WNBA. I mean, you don't know a score, a guy, whatever. And therein lies my point on this. I continue to hear no publicity is bad publicity. Well, they're talking about women's basketball. It's great that you're I don't know, man. First of all, are we talking about women's basketball or are we talking about Caitlin Clark and the treatment she's getting? Boomer Esiason just told you it's a disgrace, JJ. It's a disgrace. We were just out in the coffee room. Cheap shot. You're like, yeah, she should be in jail. Russian jail. Like, put her in jail for Kennedy Carter, what she did to Caitlin Clark. We're not talking about basketball. Text line. This should settle the discussion to some degree. Cheap shot definition. An act of deliberate roughness against a defenseless opponent, especially in a contact sport. By that definition, it was 100% a cheap shot. I think what JJ is saying, it was a low severity cheap shot. Okay. I didn't know there was a definition of cheap shot. So thank you to this texter for sending that in. JJ, I agree with you 1,000%. I've seen way worse. Was it the cheapest of shots I've ever seen? No. But I think where the WNBA is skating a line right now, and when I say do they need to reel something in, dude, yeah, people are talking about the WNBA, but not about the game, and I wonder if that's dangerous. And my fear
it's dangerous because we won't talk about the game. You've openly admitted multiple times you don't care.
Yeah,
you didn't care.
I thought I would.
So you're telling the WNBA,
yeah,
well, you can't have this. We don't want this.
Yeah.
And then if it's just basketball next week, you won't talk about it.
Maybe I will. No, maybe I will, because you got me watching a little bit. I watched the game. It's okay. Like it's okay if baseball's not your thing, or soccer's not your thing, or the NBA is not your thing. Like, that's cool. This isn't going to be everybody's thing. Some people are going to sample it and say I'm in. Some people are going to sample it and say, yeah, there's a reason I wasn't in before.
There's a reason to play in the summer.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
to me, I agree with if teams were doing this all the time, it's a problem. It was one incident. Yep. I think we saw after the fact when they came down with the flagrant, the way the head coach of the team addressed it. Like, they're like, all right, we're not going to have this happen moving forward. Like, I'm okay with that. But I think what Boomer Esiason said was a joke.
That it's a disgrace. What's happening to Caitlin Clark is a disgrace.
The phone call, like, oh, poor Caitlin Clark. Like, get out of here. Like, yeah, that was an over-the-top play where she got hip checked.
Yep.
But now you're not, like, we can't play defense against Caitlin Clark in the other games. Like, oh my gosh, she's played 11 games, and another team's only played 9. This is so unfair. Like, they're all going to have to get in the same amount of games before the Olympics at some point. Yeah. So when the Aces go on their run of extended games over a short period of time, you're going to cry then too?
This guy says you guys drew straws to see you would have to take the, quote, it wasn't so bad position and JJ lost. We get it.
No. You know what? I'm actually someone that does enjoy women's sports somewhat because I work around it a lot.
Yeah.
And physical basketball, it's not a scary thing even when girls do it.
Yeah. All right, we play the Angel Reese sound one more time. I know we played it in the 7 o'clock hour and the audience turns. This was Angel Reese of the Chicago Sky, the team against whom Caitlin Clark and the Fever were playing on Saturday when the shoulder check happened from, this is Kennedy Carter's teammate. They were asked yesterday about it. And just, what do you hear in this? And this is Angel Reese, who was on the bench at the time, responding to the whole thing.
It all started from the national championship game, and I've been dealing with this for 2 years now. And understanding, like, yeah, negative things have probably been said about me, but honestly, I'll take that because look where women's basketball is. People are talking about women's basketball, but you never would think that we'd be talking about women's basketball. People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, like, just because of one single game. And just looking at that, like, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me, too, and I want y'all to realize that.
And there's a lot of it, right? I mean, there's someone who feels that she's not getting her due. Is there resentment? Is there jealousy? Whatever you heard. Brady called and said, he hears... what did he say? If I'm paraphrasing it incorrectly, I apologize. But, he said a young black girl from the South who was told she wasn't pretty from the beginning, and there's a lot there that look at me too. I should get credit for this. People are watching. JJ, I'm going to tell you, this has a feel to me of soccer over the last 3 decades in our country. The World Cup comes around, right? Women's World Cup especially. There's a big run. Everybody tells me, oh, soccer's going to be huge. Soccer's going to be huge. And now soccer's grown exponentially over the last, certainly 10 years. But it's going to take off, and it's going to surpass basketball. It's going to surpass hockey. And then it gets its bump, and then it kind of slides back into the next cycle. And I wonder if we're in this early WNBA cycle. We got excited about this. And again, I for the sake of the game, I got no skin in this. But for the sake of their game, I hope I'm wrong that in 3 weeks, people still are watching the WNBA at good numbers, still going to the arena, still selling the arenas out, whether it's when Caitlin Clark shows up or when she does it. And people are watching. I just wonder, at some point, people better care about the damn game itself.
I'm with you. This is one where the Caitlin Clark bump is real. There's going to be a fade. But what I think at times when we have these conversations, sometimes people put unrealistic expectations on it. Like you're always going to try to continue to grow or push what you're in, but there's still always going to be that hierarchy. And anytime you have a conversation says what's going to happen when football starts, we know what's going to happen. It does it to everything. Mm-hmm. Like college basketball doesn't matter in the majority of the country, but it does here.
Yeah, until February.
Until March.
Yeah, no, that's probably right. Yeah.
But these things have cycles, and you hope that you can find stories. And for the WNBA, we can sit here and say they need to nip this in the butt and they need to do that. Well, when they do, what's story's going to, I'm not saying that we should push this every day, but I'm saying, all right, when they do nip this in the butt,
are we going to?
Is anyone going to be like, well, Breonna Stewart
Did
had
you see
27, 7, and
yeah.
8 last night? Like,
Did you
no.
see the Sky Mercury
So,
game last night?
That's part of what you just have to understand. Like, I think this
Well,
is.
let me counter this. Do we do that in the NBA all season long until we get to the playoffs? Do we give like
That's why I'm kind of like I don't necessarily agree with like this is going to destroy or be a negative long term.
Yeah.
Like it's a frustrating story for some. Gets people going. It obviously got me worked up in it.
Good.
But I don't think that it's one where if they don't do something now, it's going to destroy what they had.
Jeffrey, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. What's up, Jeffrey?
Good morning. When was the last time we talked this extensive about women's college basketball? So it's interesting. I think the mistake here on Angel Reese's part is, first of all, we have to remember these are very young women who do not have a lot of experience at this level, being on this stage, talking in front of the millions and millions and millions of people that are going to be, micro-examining everything they do, regardless of the reason. And I think I get what Angel was saying, and I do think she came across as a little resentful and maybe a little jealous. And look, I get it. There's been a lot of people playing this sport for a long time, and maybe they see, Caitlin Clark coming in as, somewhat of an outsider. Why did she get all this attention? And, we've been playing the sport forever, and I get that. But what I think unintentionally she did is because I don't think she's seasoned in the way she speaks. She came across as resentful, and she created this, she put the black hat on herself. But I think if she would have just kind of played the silent role and said, hey, we're just trying to move the sport forward, be really quiet, and just let her, basically say, let's let the players play the game, and we'll see who's better at the end of the season. I really think someone should have advised her on that, because now, she's got the black hat, but I don't know if she's got it in the way that you want it, because we're talking about her being resentful and jealous and petty and all that stuff. I think it would have been really good for someone to advise her to say, hey, you don't need to come across that way. Just say, let's let the players play the game and let people come in and have a little bit of air of mystery about what's going on, because we already know all the general dynamics of the situation, and just let's watch the game and see who's there at the end of the season.
Thanks. Good call. I appreciate you, Jeff. Thanks. But I don't think, Angel Reese is not going to shy away from a microphone. And look, I'm not mad at her either. I mean, she said her piece and she feels a certain way. And I asked you, what do you hear when you hear Angel Reese? I hear a lot of emotion in there. I hear a woman who is really been affected by this. I don't think Angel Reese is a bad person. In fact, there's a lot of personality there. There's been times in candid moments where she sat down and got away from the emotion when it's not about Caitlin Clark. When she's not being asked about Caitlin Clark, I actually kind of really enjoy Angel Reese. I really do. I think this piece of it, and unfortunately to the majority of people, she's defined by Caitlin Clark. But I hear a woman who's is resentful. There is some jealousy. There is why that woman getting all of the pub, and does the race piece play into it? Yeah, maybe it does. But to Jeffrey's point, would have been good to advise her, hey, just let this thing play out and kind of lay low on it, maybe. But again, I don't think that that's who she is. And, that's part of her brand. All right, 505-246-0610. I do want to get into the passing of Larry Allen. We're going to bring this up when Kenny Thomas is in at the top of the hour, which will be 9 o'clock. We have a sweet deal coming up for you. When we come back, remembering maybe the best to ever do it. Passed away way, way, way too early on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Center.
This report is sponsored.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2425. 2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. International Protective Services is a proud supporter.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered.
You know, this one says this has nothing to do with race or cheap shot. The game has just gotten soft. until it sent me a shot of Larry Bird laying out Bernard King. Yeah, dude. Back in the 80s, NBA basketball, it was different. And we've had this conversation. Is it soft? Is what's allowed? What would the bad boys be? They couldn't. All that. Yeah. And again, in today's definition of a cheap shot.
We would like to thank the following sponsor.
Yeah, I think it was a cheap shot. Was it the worst cheap shot I've ever seen? No. Was it the most dangerous thing? No. And that's kind of where it is. But if you want to keep getting in on it, we can. We'll revisit it with Kenny Thomas. Coming up, we kick it with Kenny at the top of the hour. That'll be at 9 o'clock. I want to remember Larry Allen. JJ, this one, out of the blue. And one of the best linemen the NFL has ever seen. Larry Allen died Sunday. He was 52 years old. They were vacationing. His family was in Mexico. He's a Hall of Famer that went in 2013. You know where he went to college?
Larry Allen?
Yeah.
No.
Second round pick out of Sonoma State. You know where that is?
Somewhere in California?
It is Northern California, yeah. In Sonoma State, he played every offensive line position for the Cowboys except for center. He was right tackle, right guard, left tackle, left guard, 11 Pro Bowls, 6 first-team All-Pros. Was a member of the last Super Bowl team the Cowboys had in the 1995 season. Ring of Honor in 2011. Athletic, mean, bad. I mean, he was everything. As good of a lineman by every account as there's ever been. 52 years old, and there's no details, which, you know, the speculation's out there like crazy, and I think that's probably irresponsible, and so I'm not going to do it. All I know is never a bad word. I've never met Larry Allen.
Well, the reaction yesterday from legends in the NFL let you know that was one of the best offensive linemen to ever play the game. Person on and off the field. He connected with people. Willie Anderson, pretty good offensive lineman in his own right. He did go on the X yesterday, and he put this out there, and it's something to think about. Willie Anderson wrote, "I hope and pray one day the NFL addresses ex-NFL big guys' heart and kidney issues. The transition should have a lot more education and benefits. We struggle with heart and kidney disease when we leave the game. We took too much Toradol and ibuprofen. They do a solid job on some things, but guys need to know as soon as you retire, you got to get that weight off and flush your kidneys." And I thought it was a pretty eye-opening statement.
Yeah, and maybe he knows more than some of us know. But I don't know. I hate being presumptive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But maybe Willie Anderson knows more than we know what the cause of death was for Larry Allen. But
it's just something to think about with these big guys and post-career. And there's a reason you see a lot of linemen, when they retire, you look at them in 6-12 months and they don't look like the same person.
Well, they went from, you talking about going from like 295 to 345, and dudes walking around 345 can't be good. All right, Cowboy fan, you can jump in on that. The number's 505-246-0610. But the passing of maybe the best offensive lineman, I don't know. I mean, maybe one of the best. Well, not even maybe, but was he the best ever? 52 years old. We lose Larry Allen yesterday. All right, great opportunity for you. There's no easy way to transition. Hi, Diana. How are you?
Good morning.
It's good to see you. You Cowboy fan? What's your football team?
Green Bay Packers.
That's all right. Well, everybody comes in and they kind of look at you like, you don't have to be bad. It's a good team. You got a great young
team.
quarterback.
I'm looking forward to it. Oh my gosh.
You got some Jordan Love.
I have some love coming for him.
Who does it? Diana's here because we got a sweet deal for you. And it's a really, really cool sweet deal. ABQ Axe is your sweet deal today. Get over to our website, sportsanimalabq.com. Go there at 9 o'clock. Click on the sweet deal icon, and we got a 2-for-1 on you. Tell us about the deal and what you got going, because your place is pretty special.
Oh, it's great. If you want to come in and release some stress and just have a good time with your fellow employees or friends and family, come and throw some axes.
All right, where are you, first off?
5505 Osuna.
So it's just to the east of Summit Day.
Yes.
And so it's easy for everybody to get to. Axe throwing. People go like, wait, what? I can go throw axes? Here's my deal. I always wonder, how do you get, so when you throw it, there's got to be an art to it, right? And I haven't done it yet. So you throw the axe and you're throwing it at a target, right?
Yes.
How often does like the handle hit first, or Does the blade hit? Like, how do you get it to stick?
Well, we go through safety and instruction with every single participant that comes in, and we just want one full rotation, and either we move you up or move you back, and so you can get that perfect rotation to stick that axe on the target.
How'd you get into this? I mean, you've been throwing axes since you were 2 years old.
I know.
Daddy brought me up, and I was going to be an axe thrower.
We kind of fell in by accident. My business partner, which unfortunately she's not here, Angela Romero.
Yeah, tell her I said what's up.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. She's bummed that she couldn't make it. But anyways, we were traveling in Poland. Can you believe that? In Poland, Krakow. And
the two of you were?
Yeah.
All right.
And we came across an axe room, and she's like, "This, we should bring it to Albuquerque."
You came across, that's a phrase I've never heard. JJ, have you ever heard that? So we were traveling in Poland, and we came across an axe room. Like, yes, two guys walk into a bar. All right,
exactly.
Two ladies walk into an axe room in Poland. Go on.
Well, they were, at first thought it was, all these good-looking European men, which was, come on.
Hey, nice axe, buddy.
Exactly, nice axe.
Is that an axe you got?
And so she's like, let's open one. And,
Did you see the axe on that one?
And I'm like this. Are you kidding me? I go, we don't know anything about axe throwing. And we're just, women.
What do you mean we're just women?
And she's like, we can do it. And here we are 70 years later.
No believe.
Can you believe that?
So you're just checking look at the European guys and their axes. Nice
axe,
and
this coming, we're competing in Canada.
Are you?
For the International Axe Throwing Championship in Canada.
You got leagues there?
We have leagues.
You got date nights?
We got date nights.
You got walk-ins?
Walk-ins.
You got a bar?
We got a bar. And food. We have the best wings in town.
So I have to have my own axe?
We provide axes, but,
So do people is it like a bowling alley? Like the really good ones come in with their own, you go to a bowling alley, you rent shoes that they've just been sprayed, but the really good ones come in with their own balls and their own shoes. People have their own axes?
People can come in with their own axes.
Scares the crap out of me. Right, just curious. All right, that's good. What do I got to know to throw an axe? What's my skill?
Your skill, just listen to our coaches, and there's no skill needed. Just listen to our instruction, and we'll get you sticking in within 5 minutes.
All right. JJ's on the phone. I didn't know if he had something for you. Here's what we got for you. It is ABQ axe. It is your sweet. You got anything for Diana? You want to know anything about an axe? Have you thrown an axe yet? Have you ever like?
Yes, I have.
You have?
I've been there. Yes, I have.
How'd you do?
You do okay. You couple the bounce off, couple hit the target.
Yeah. Is it like dart? Do you score fun. It? Is that like darts?
Yes.
All right. Go play. It's ABQ Axe. It's known for its thrilling axe throwing activities. Beginner or all of you seasoned axe throwers out there. It's on Osuna, just to the east of San Mateo. What's your website?
abqax.com.
That's ABQAX?
Yes, sir.
.com.
You got it.
All right, go there. Hit our website, sportsanimалabq.com. Do it at 9 o'clock because these are going to go quickly. And I don't have the pricing on here. It's two for the price of one. What do you get? What are we doing here? Or are we doing $50 for 25? Is that what it is?
Yep, $50.
Yeah, this is what I got. $50. So you spend 25, you get 50. So basically, what it is $25 of free axe. Who doesn't want some free axe?
Free axe and some food.
Oh, you go out and get yourself some free axe tonight. All right, Diana, it's great to see you. abqax.com is the website. sportsanimалabq.com is our website. 9 o'clock. Click on the sweet deal icon, and you get $25. Gets you $50 worth of ABQ axe. Great to see you.
Thank you. Come throw some axes.
All right, I'm going to go as long as you're not kicking mine. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, Sports Animal.
This report brought to you by the Albuquerque Journal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach. My teacher. My older sisters. My grandma. My brother. My tutor. My dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Sports Animal. We would like to thank the following.
Omar's in on the passing of Larry Allen. Says, Jeff, I can't say it more eloquently than Coach Jones. The club made the announcement Monday morning on behalf of the family. Later in the day, clearly shaken Jerry Jones.
We would like to thank the following sponsor.
The Cowboys owner as a father figure. Quote, it's way too early in life for him to not be with us. Without question, one of the real rewards I've had since purchasing the Cowboys was getting to know him, getting to know what he's about. That ranks at the apex. I never thought in my lifetime I'd be saying goodbye to Larry. End quote. That was from Omar. That was Jerry Jones. Yeah, that one was kind of dropped out of the blue, but so many early deaths do. This is a really interesting email on the Caitlin Clark situation, and you're welcome to get in again. 505-246-0610. Welcome your conversation.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for
Reina, and it's ladies' perspective, and I appreciate this. It says Caitlin Clark input. Hi, Jeff and JJ. It says one of the main things that's getting overlooked when it comes to Caitlin and Angel is Caitlin has not once, it says in capital letters, not once talked ill about anyone in the league. That's why a majority of people are having her back and defending her. When one side, most of the WNBA, and specifically
what's going on, Little Nathan, Ja'Cory Crawford,
continues to talk badly about a specific person over and over, it gets old. While the other takes the high road, it shows a lot about each person. Finally, being known for being a bully is not the badge of honor that Angel thinks it is. Little girls gravitate to Caitlin because she is not the villain. It's from Raina. It's interesting. I'm trying to go back and think, has there been a lot of stuff talked about Caitlin? And I guess, Kennedy Carter saying, what has she done other than, what does she bring other than three-point shooter? Other than that, has there been a lot of junk talked publicly about her, or has it kind of been under?
No, I think that's a very fair point. I think Caitlin Clark has handled this fantastically.
I do too.
All the pressure that's been put on her shoulders to carry women's college basketball and now to elevate the WNBA, she is handling it. She's still putting up really good numbers as a rookie overall.
17, 6, and 5, if I'm not mistaken.
I think the Angel Reese stuff is tough because she didn't bring that. Like, she made a gesture on the court and people lost their minds. Yeah. It's like at some point you have to let athletes be competitors. And people don't lose their mind every time Caitlin Clark is screaming like Luka Doncic, because that's the way she plays. She doesn't get a foul, she's going to let the referee know. Mm-hmm. And I think, Angel Reese made a gesture on the basketball court in competition, which is, we've seen it all the time. And then that was placed on her, and she kind of tried to run with it, but she is struggling running with being the villain, even though she's not going to get out of that lane right now because she continues to act that way. Yeah. And I think to the point, too, is at some point is, get back to basketball. And you can go at someone on the court differently than what Carter did. And I think for Reese moving forward is just play the game, and then the rivalry stuff, the connections will kind of happen naturally from it, as opposed to trying to, at every turn, talk it up or defend yourself.
I think this is a great email by Reina, because I think the perspective of the way Caitlin's handling this. Other people are coming to her defense. You have Boomer Esiason saying what did he say? It's a travesty. What did he call it? It's ridiculous. What did he say in that Infinity Sports update? Whatever he said, right? You have everybody else complaining, but she hasn't. She said it's basketball. It's hard-nosed basketball. Unless I've missed something. And to Raina's point, I don't recall Caitlin Clark talking junk in the press conference about anybody else. Bruin James, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, James.
Hey, good morning. This whole Caitlin Clark thing, the problem is that you have the hierarchy, Diana Taurasi, Sue Bird, Suey, all these ladies who have won medals, won national championships, all these things that they've done. And here you got Caitlin Clark, who has won nothing, and she comes in and gets a $3 million deal. And
whoa. That was an endorsement deal. Yeah, she got but she's making $70,000.
No. With Nike, she got a deal. She got a $3 million deal with Nike.
Yeah.
And so she gets this big deal and everything like that. And basically the hierarchy of women's basketball is upset because basically they did everything they could for women's basketball and did all this stuff and did all the hard work and were the founders of women's basketball. And you got this girl coming in, gets this deal and stuff like that. Kind of, ruffles some feathers.
Yeah,
and what the thing that don't help is you have ESPN every 5 seconds. Caitlin Clark just went to the restroom. Caitlin Clark, brush your teeth. Oh, and it doesn't help. They do all this stuff. And women's basketball was never in danger. Have you ever been? Do you know what res ball is? If you ever go to the reservation and watch basketball, boys or girls, the seats are packed, and and the problem is you have these people who don't know nothing about basketball. Oh, Caitlin Clark, and they get involved in it, and they don't know nothing. Yeah, she's a saver of women's basketball. No, women's basketball is always there. It's just now it's getting a little bit more light, and it's Caitlin Clark is bringing it to Mo and Joe, and that's what's going on. But yeah, she's not liked by her teammates, and she's not liked by the whole WNBA because she made the $3 million signing deal, and all these girls are busting her butt, and they're not making too much money.
They're all going to make more money in the long run because so you see, this is ESPN's fault, or it's Nike's fault for giving her the money. So whose fault is it? Because
it's nobody's fault. I mean, I wouldn't if Nike offered me $3 million, I'd take it.
Right.
But the thing is like she didn't come out. I'd like to thank all these women who came before me. She never said anything like that.
She actually did. Yeah, she actually did.
Well, anyway, okay. But anyway, that's the problem. And she's not liked by her teammates. She's not liked by the majority of the WNBA. And it's going to be rough. And she needs to put on her big point pants and let's do this,
Yeah,
so.
Well, appreciate it.
All right, guys.
So do we know she's not liked by her teammates?
Not at all.
Is that fact?
And then the whole, she hasn't done anything yet. Like, I think that it's one thing when if it's Diana Taurasi and veterans are saying, hey, you're going to still have to come in and earn it. It's going to be difficult, yada, yada, yada. She's the leading scorer in college basketball. History of college basketball. And if you want to just say women's college basketball, fine, so you don't get all up in your feelings.
She's top 20 in the league in scoring. She's 18th.
She's 18th in the league in scoring in the WNBA as a rookie, coming off back-to-back years where she led an Iowa's Hawkeye team to national championship appearance deep in the NCAA tournament. So she's done a lot herself.
I mean, to say she's done nothing, I heard somebody call them empty stats today. Empty stats? Leading scorer in the history of the game. She went to the championship game 2 years in a row. And to say she's not liked by her teammates, is that, do we know that? I don't know why, because they didn't rush to go beat the hell out of Kennedy Clark or Carter? Now, if you want to tell me she's not liked by the rest of the league, I'm listening to some of that, but I think that's jealousy. Is it because she got the $3 million from Nike? Maybe. But every one of you would have taken it. And I got to take this break because we're long overdue for it. If you're there, I'd love to talk to you. 505-246-0610. Kenny Thomas will be here coming up at 9 o'clock. We'll talk to him about it. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610 Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by Allstate.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom. Boom.
driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burquia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit HansWhitlerAuto.com.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Like and shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the pennies. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Ask, what has the Kennedy player done before this play on Saturday? I never heard of her, JJ. I'm not going to lie. You may have. She's been in Turkey. She's been around the world. I guess you told me yesterday, right? She got suspended from one team or something, right? I mean, she's been around the league for a little bit. Kennedy Carter?
Yeah.
Now everybody knows who she is. This one says Angel.
People don't even know who the leading scorer in the league is.
No.
Like, I, along with everyone else, have to look it up. So,
by the way, it's Agumbawale, 26.6 points per game. Then Asia Wilson. Where's the other one? It says Angel Reese says it's quote because of Me Too end quote, which is just wrong. It has nothing to do with her. It has everything to do with Caitlin Clark. It's from Paul. When did you say it's Me Too?
In the clip. It's not just one person. It's
okay. Fair enough. All right, Jeffrey, good morning. Thanks for holding here on the Sports Animal. Hi, Jeffrey.
Yeah, just a couple of things. And again, I'm not going to pretend that I know that much about what's going on with Caitlin Clark or whatever, but she is a phenomenon. And just based on the human condition, prima facie, people resent when somebody appears into a context and they get a lot of attention. For example, Will Chamberlain was absolutely resented because he was dominant in 1957, I think, when he appeared in the NBA. Muhammad Ali, when he was Cassius Clay, absolutely resented. I remember in high school, St. Pius, we had this Egyptian junior lady or student rather, that was introduced to the class. She was absolutely spectacularly gorgeous and got a lot of attention. She was smart, very athletic, and instantaneously the human condition is we resent this person who just like appeared out of nowhere. But anyway, the reason I called is there's another world-class event going on, Jeff, and JJ called the French Open. I know you guys don't talk about tennis much, but I finally retired about 12:30 last night after watching the greatest tennis player of all time, male, Djokovic, win a 5-set, 4-hour, 20-minute match. He's down 2 sets. He's injured with a knee issue, and because of his unshakable focus, his tremendous skill, and his just sheer will, he wins a 4-hour, 20-minute, 5-set match. And I just thought that warranted a little recognition. Keep in mind, he's won 24 major championships. And by the way, the women tennis players, you're talking about world-class athletes. And I don't know why we in New Mexico don't particularly talk more about tennis, but the artistry, the athleticism, the strength, the mental capacity that's demonstrated in the game, it's an incredible sport. And I love tennis, and just wanted to remind our listeners, if you want to watch the greatest tennis player of all time, it's Novak Djokovic.
Yeah, and the 370th win.
Thanks, guys.
See you, Jeffrey. The win yesterday is 370th.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this.
It's special. All right, we'll find Kenny Thomas when we come back. Kick it with Kenny. We got ready to get started. What day is today? Tuesday. This will be our final segment with Kenny before the NBA finals start on Thursday. Get his thought on Caitlin Clark. And ask Kenny, was that a cheap shot? He played 11 years in the NBA. 505-246-0610 if you want to get in. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife and our daughter, they didn't make it.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty.
Time you see a Kennedy spelled with a CH and you hear Kennedy Carter's name, you will remember her for one moment. Like that, this is her 15 minutes, right? Unless she lays out Caitlin Clark again next time they play, then you'll remember her for 2 moments, but one thing. That's like enjoy your fame. Everybody's got an opinion on this. It's like somebody will say something else today, right? Something's going to come out today. Somebody will talk. And you're going to go, oh, did they even play today? Who cares? Nobody knows. You know, I mean, I don't know. Did they? Maybe they did. Maybe, who knows? But my biggest question on this, and this is, honestly, I wonder where does it go? In 3 weeks from now, the NBA Finals will be over. You'll be talking about the draft. Are we going to be talking about the WNBA at all? And JJ's point's real. Is this the only thing we're ever going to talk about? Is it the off-court stuff? Or are you ever going to really care? Or because maybe we've all been lying to ourselves and trying to convince ourselves, oh, yeah, no, it's a really good product and I like it and I'll watch it. Oh, no, I can't watch it now because of this distraction. Let's kick it with Kenny. He's the former Lobo great. Well, if you're a Lobo great, you're never a former Lobo great, right? You're always a Lobo great. 11-year NBA veteran and now globetrotting entrepreneur. Kenny Thomas joins us for Kicking It with Kenny. Good day, sir. How are you, Kenny Thomas?
Man, I'm good. I appreciate you guys. Hey, man, we got to work on those phone systems, man.
What's the
I was
problem?
trying to call in.
Yeah? How come Bruin James can get in and Grady can get in and Jeffrey can get in, but you can't?
I'm Kenny Thomas.
That's right. We need a Kenny Thomas.
What's up, my guy? How are you, bro?
You just said to me, I'm Kenny Thomas.
I just big time you, Jeff.
I'm Kenny Thomas. Yeah, you are. You are. All right. What's up, Kenny Thomas? You all right? You just wake up?
Yeah, man, I'm good. No. Oh, heck no. I'm out here in California. Yeah, I'm in SAC, man. Played in a celebrity golf tournament. You have Pee Wee Harrison here. You had Dr. J here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of other people here, man.
How does Dr. J take second fiddle to Pee Wee Harrison?
Was here.
Yeah. Does Dr. J, when you introduce someone like to Dr. J, do you say this is Julius, or do you say this is Dr. J?
Mr. Julius.
Mr. Irving?
Yeah, right. Mr. Everything and Anything. Man, when I saw him, he's way bigger than me.
He's the original.
And then when I saw him and I shook his hand, it's like, what? Is this really Julian? Is this the guy that brought in the air fro? I mean, the fro with the windmill?
No doubt.
In the game? Or the cradle? Yeah.
He's the original of that style of basketball. Like before Jordan, before Kobe, before Magic, Julius Irving was the original of that style of basketball. Like, period.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, we've been talking. Go ahead. No, finish.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, bud.
Yeah, I was going to turn the corner on this. We've been talking all morning about Caitlin Clark and this whole thing, and I got a fear that the WNBA is going to destroy whatever it is they're building with this off the court. Nobody cares about who was winning, who's losing. It's just what kind of crap is being talked. Let me ask you to start off the Kennedy Carter play where she shoulder checked Caitlin Clark the other day. Was that a dirty play to you? Was that a cheap shot?
Yes, it was very dirty.
Okay, why?
You could tell she wasn't even subtle with it, though. Yeah, you're talking about the girl that walked in and bumped her on the below the basket. And
and knocked her on her ass.
Is that the same one you're talking about?
Yeah.
And then Clark kind of acted a little bit, but you can tell like she got a bullseye on her back, right? She's coming in. She's made a statement in college, and obviously those other ladies are feeling some type of way. And I don't blame them because I would try and go at her too. I really would.
All right, go at her in what way? What does that mean, Kenny? When you say I would go at her?
There's a difference between how people are being dirty with her opposed to going at her based off of your game on the offensive end or how you're playing defense against her. One, she's a phenom. I see her as the next Steph Curry for women's basketball. And I know that there's been a lot of women that have came in and made a statement, but the noise and everything she brings to the game is totally changing the WNBA, and I feel like those ladies should be making more than $71,000. That's what she's making this year, which is kind of insane.
Do you feel, because JJ made a good point, it's not happening every night, right? I mean, she's getting hard fouled. There's a resentment, and I guess it's natural.
Yep.
When somebody comes in and they get a $3 million Nike deal and they're getting all the attention. And I don't know how you sit back and say at some point, look, man, she's going to bring us all more money because you're not seeing it right now. Do you think it's over the top with her? Because JJ's point is right. It's not every night that she's getting cheap shotted and sent to the ground. And some people just think that's basketball. You know, what happened?
Yeah. See, man, I think she got $28 million with Nike or something like that. I feel like she should have got way more.
I think it was only $3 million. I think it was only $3 million. Kenny. I think she got $3 million. I'll find it.
One, it still should be way more than that. You got to keep in mind too all the money she made in college because of the NIL stuff, right?
Yep.
And then she's one of those that's coming in and changing the game, man.
You're right, dude.
When you see a woman shoot like Steph Curry to where it's like way effortless behind the arc, man, it's unreal. She's the type of woman that's going to demand a lot of attention, and the fact of the matter is that she's not going anywhere, and I'm happy that she's changing it. I feel like the WNBA needs more credit, and there's some ladies in there that can ball out. I mean, you got Reese. Even if you saw Reese go at Caitlin Clark, right? So there's a lot of history there with the LSU and Clark School. But man, I don't know. I'm actually excited to actually see some of these games. And you got to remember, Caitlin Clark. She has people following her that's documenting her whole everything.
You're not
which
wrong.
Is pretty cool.
According to CBS, on April 25th, Caitlin Clark reportedly signing a $28 million deal with Nike. So, yeah, Kenny's right. He's Kenny Thomas, and we're kicking with Kenny here on the Sports Animal.
No, Kenny, you mentioned.
And I appreciate that.
Can you mention
Go ahead, JJ, I'm sorry.
getting physical and just playing a game of basketball, and especially with guards on the perimeter, you want to make them uncomfortable. What were some of those things you try to do within the context of a game to let someone know that you're there without, being dirty or taking cheap shots?
That's a great question, man, because when I came in, I was 6'6", 6'7", right? I was shorter, and I was playing the 4. So there's certain things that I needed to do, which is use my quickness playing against a guy like Tim Duncan because he's taller, right? So my quickness is playing on all sides of him, trying to do whatever I can, even though he's going to get the ball and he's going to score. I wanted to make a statement and figure out how to stay on the floor because came from college, everything went through me, and then next thing you know, you get to the NBA and you gotta change your mindset to where you're trying to figure out how to stay on the floor. I think that goes both ways for the WNBA too as well, because some of those ladies, they're trying to make a statement and a name for themselves, going up against Caitlin Clark or Reese from LSU, and there's just a lot of different components that come with it, but you gotta try and find a way how to stay on the floor. Rebounding and playing defense is how I was able to stay on the floor.
All right, we're going to take a break. We come back. Kenny, you want to get into the NBA Finals, which start in just a couple of days?
Yeah.
All right. Kenny Thomas.
Let's do it.
Yeah, Kenny Thomas is with us. When we come back, NBA Finals, Luka, Tatum, Kyrie, Jaylen Brown. Who you like and what's going to be the difference? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 the Sports Hour.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I give you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. The drunk driver hit us, and my wife, and our daughter, they didn't make it.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in boot camp. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep.
Sure, Michael
All your favorite action.
Jay Groom of the Padres and Jose Rodriguez of the Phillies and Andrew Salfrank of the Diamondbacks all have been declared ineligible for 1 year for unrelated violations of Major League Baseball's sports betting rules and policies. So,
the dumbest way to go out.
Getting a lifetime ban for betting on baseball?
Dumbest way to go out. There's things you know you can't do.
And that would be kind of at the top of the list. Yeah. All right, we'll get into that later. Let's kick it with Kenny a little bit longer. The former Lobo great, 11-year NBA veteran. Finals get started finally on Thursday. It'll be the Mavericks and the Celtics. I think you're leaning Celtics. Is that right? Or are you leaning Mavericks?
No, Dallas.
Yeah.
Can't believe I just said that out loud. But even though the Celtics should win, I really like Mark Cuban. So
we would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
To get another, no, I'm just kidding. Luka, man, the way that he's playing, I just see the Mavericks winning. I really do.
Is it more of a Dallas thing or a Boston thing that you see it? Because Boston's been here. They've been to the precipice. This is a big, big series, I think, for legacy in regards to certainly Jason Tatum, but maybe even Jaylen Brown.
I mean, those guys are creating a dynasty right now, right? But they haven't been able to get over that hump and actually win one. So
there's no dynasty.
That's the only thing that I'm worried about. And then you got the big fella, if he comes back, who
we would like to thank the following.
What's his name? Porzingis. I can't say his name.
Yeah, Porzingis.
Yeah. So I'm not a big fan of him, but him coming back, obviously he could totally impact the series. But if Dallas and likely if they're able to come out and play the type of ball that they've been playing, it's going to be an interesting series. So,
which duo?
Hey. Go ahead. I'm sorry, JJ.
I was going to say, what you do is like take the teams out. Like if you're just stepping up to the court, you had Luka and Kyrie or Tatum and Brown. Which duo would you pick?
Right now, I like Kyrie and Luka. Yeah, I said it. I can't believe I just did that, but I did. The way Luka's playing right now is unreal. I would take Luka over Tatum. What do you guys think? You probably take Tatum, huh?
No, I like Luka right now. Where are you?
Yeah, I think Luka right now is the best offensive player in the NBA with the way he dictates the tempo of the game, the way he puts his teammates in position to score, the way he can score the basketball at every level. And I'm really looking forward to watching this finals because I think I don't know what happened, but I think because, Jaylen Brown is a more aggressive scorer, there's this sense that he's obviously the better player. So I want to see what kind of impact Jason Tatum has, like what he puts on himself to be a creator, to be a defender. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun to watch, to see what he does in the NBA Finals.
I totally agree. Tatum's obviously, he can come out and change the game, right? But you guys got to also keep in mind, you got White over there that's playing some really, really good basketball, man. And obviously, I don't see this series being. I don't see the series. I don't see a lot of defense being played in this series. So it's gonna come down to who's gonna be making shots, I think, and I think that's gonna determine who's gonna win. To be honest.
So I got two conflicting thoughts going into this. One of them is, I'm really on Dallas, but I'm afraid of it because I kind of feel about Dallas the way I felt about Minnesota after they beat the Nuggets. Right? There was this whole look at they look so good and they're invincible, and then they get beat handily in the next round. But my other one is Kyrie, and I feel that Kyrie is in a comfort level. He's playing, if not the best basketball of his career, the best since he won a championship with LeBron. And it feels like he's in a comfort zone. And this is he's playing against a team where he's got bad memories. He wasn't good when he was with the Celtics. And this could be a legacy moment for Kyrie. And so I know the two conflict because, I'm afraid to get on the Mavericks because it feels so similar how I felt with the Wolves coming out of that Nugget series, and then they flopped. But the other part is I think Kyrie may end up being the story of the series.
I totally agree. And then did you notice there was a situation where Luka took over? Remember when he scored the 20 points in, I forgot which game it was, and Kyrie wasn't scoring. And you can tell that Kyrie was just playing the right way. He was driving the ball, being aggressive, and he was opening up situations for other people because he commands a lot of attention, just like Luka. So I feel like Dallas's role players and some of their bench has been playing some really good basketball. Jason Kidd he's doing a great job. We've talked about the GM, I think, is Nico.
Yep.
The way that Mark Cuban has taken a step back, probably, even though he's probably still in the mix, he's allowed his organization to be able to be ran the right way by bringing in all the pieces. So I can see that Kyrie being that guy, and especially going up against his team because his Boston stint was very short.
Kicking it with Kenny here on the Sports Animal as the finals get ready to go. Coaching advantage. You got a Joe Mazzulla, Jason Kidd thought, or is it, is either one of them got an advantage on the coach?
I think it's going to come down to strategy and game plan, man. Coaches can only do so much. Obviously, coaches make the decision on who plays and how long, right? But those stars are going to play a lot of minutes. I feel like whoever comes out and gets these first two games, it's going to determine, obviously, it's going to determine how the series is going to go. But Dallas needs to go into the situation trying to get at least one of the two, obviously, if not both, because I think they're capable of winning both games in Boston, to be honest.
I don't want to switch gears real quick before we get out of here. Global basketball, the schedule continues to come out. November 8th in Las Vegas, you get UCLA. So the schedule's now got UCLA in Vegas, St. John's at Madison Square Garden, BCU on the road. You got, what was the other one? What else am I missing? There's another.
I think BCU's a home game this year.
BCU's a home game. Oh, the Arizona State game, and then either SC or St. Mary's.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I just want your thoughts on playing UCLA.
Man, I'm like, my prayers are being answered. As far as the Lobos going on the road, man, and playing some good teams, I know it's been happening the last couple of years, but when it comes to the rankings and everything, going on the road is going to help you solidify yourself to where if you can get some big-time wins, it's going to help you, obviously, especially when it comes to the program and rebuilding because of some of the pieces that were lost this year, right? But playing against UCLA, I never played against UCLA. That's actually cool. I might even, who knows, man? Jeff, I'm trying to get my deal done with the radio station for the post-game show, man. Hopefully I still have it next year, but we'll see.
All right. Well, we'll work on that because that was a lot of fun. All right.
Man, yeah.
Yeah. All right. What else you got? You got anything? You're in Cali for a little while. When are you back?
I'll be there in a couple days. Hey, you going to Red Hot Chili Peppers?
On Friday.
That's on Friday.
Yeah. Are you going to be back for that?
Yeah. And then Saturday is me and Teresa Tapia's event, the boxing match at Isleta. If you guys want to come out, let me know what's up.
All right. All right. Well, safe travels back. We'll catch up with you on Friday, and always appreciate the conversation.
Man, thank you guys so much.
All right. Be well.
Congratulations again, Jeff, on your daughter's graduation, bro.
Oh, man.
You deserve that.
Appreciate that. I didn't. She did it, but I'll pass them on. Thanks, Kenny. All right. Be well. We'll talk to you next week or Friday.
Appreciate you guys.
See you.
All right. Okay. Bye.
Kenny Thomas. We might have woken up. But he'll be back. Are you going to Red Hot Chili Peppers on Friday?
Anyone got tickets?
Anybody?
Tickets?
Is there a good way to get in there now? I heard it was a nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
Plane? Yeah. All right. I want to get into this Major League Baseball story. 505-246-0610. We'll do that when we get back, but you got Marcano been suspended for the rest of his life. Lifetime ban for gambling in Major League Baseball. International Protective Service continues to do amazing things. Like when you asked for their help in Santa Fe, they heard you. They're getting a lot of calls for service up in Santa Fe, and if you live in that area and you're concerned about threats to your property, call IPS. I'll give you the number here in a few minutes. No, more so a few seconds. In Albuquerque, police response is still hours, especially for home and business break-ins. IPS is there in most cases within 7 minutes or less. They install alarms and camera systems. They monitor those cameras 24/7. It raises the level of security around your home and business. And I know you've noticed IPS officers at local Targets and Walmarts. IPS making a difference for them, and they can for you too. They do for me, and they have for years. They watch my home. Your home's supposed to be a place of security. If someone breaks in, it is devastating for that sense of security, and you don't know when it's going to happen. So let IPS keep eyes on your home or your business around the clock. 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. Passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
Get ready to step into the ring of... We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burquerque. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready.
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burquerque. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you.
I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
Ban from Major League Baseball for baseball bets. Permanently banned for violating the league's gambling policy was announced this morning. So evidently, JJ, Major League Baseball received data from a legal sports betting operator concerning baseball gambling activity from accounts that belonged to a bunch of players. Under Major League Baseball's rules, personnel are allowed to partake in sports gambling provided that it is legal in their jurisdiction and they do not bet on diamond sports. That includes softball. Each player violated the second part of it. None of the players are appealing their suspension. This is the statement from Rob Manfred. He is the commissioner of Major League Baseball. The strict enforcement of Major League Baseball's rules and policies governing gambling conduct is a critical component of upholding our most important priority, protecting the integrity of our games for the fans. The long-standing prohibition against betting on Major League Baseball games by those in the sport has been a bedrock principle for over a century. We have been clear that the privilege of playing in baseball comes with a responsibility to refrain from engaging in certain types of behavior that are legal for other people. Since the Supreme Court decision opened the door to legalize sports betting, we have worked with licensed sports betting operators and other third parties to put ourselves in a better position from an integrity perspective through the transparency that a regulated sports betting system can provide. Major League Baseball will continue to invest heavily in integrity monitoring, educational programming, and awareness initiatives with the goal of ensuring strict adherence to this fundamental rule of our game. End quote. JJ, basically what it says is, yeah, other people can do it and you can't. Playing in baseball is a privilege, not a right. Other people can do it, you cannot. And by the way, we are spending millions of dollars to monitor it. If you do it, we will hit you.
Yes, it's not that hard. Yeah. Don't mess with their money. Go take some PEDs. Like that, at least I won't get you a lifetime. You can get popped like 3 times before you get kicked out.
I mean, realistically, you could probably beat the hell out of somebody and still play.
Yes, you could do so many other things and still play sports. They do not want you messing with their money. It's the easiest thing not to do. Bet on the WNBA.
Yeah, no,
but
seriously.
the over-under on Caitlin Clark 3-point shots.
100%.
Not on the game that you play. It's not that hard.
So Major League Baseball's investigation found that Marcano didn't just bet on baseball frequently. Allegedly, it's kind of, I guess I found it. He's claimed to have gambled more than $150,000 across nearly 400 baseball bets, including Major League Baseball and international contests. So let me do this math, because that's not a lot. 150,000. I mean, it's a lot of bets divided by 400. She's betting about $375 a bet. They're claiming that he even bet on his own team, the Pirates, back when he was with the Pirates. Quote, this is Major League Baseball in their press release. Almost all of Marcano's Pirates bets were on which club, the Pirates were their opponent, would win the game, or whether there would be more or less than a certain number of runs scored in the game. Well, that's how you bet baseball, right? So he bet either the over-under or who was winning. It is notable, though, that he did not appear in any of the games in which he bet because of his injury. Now, he denied having inside information that influenced his bets. Major League Baseball estimates that he won, JJ. What do you think the percentage of his bets that
he probably did terrible.
Have you looked at the number?
Yeah.
4.3% of his Major League Baseball related gambles is what he won.
And this is
Dude,
why,
he was bad at it.
Yeah, but
too.
this is also why it's such a problem. Because you're betting a lot and you're not winning. What's to say when you get back out there, you can make bets that you try to influence yourself. That's the whole point.
To get yourself back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not.
No, look, this is easy.
Like, it's just so, like, when it's in the multitude of players that are doing it. Like, the Jonte Porter stuff was him, betting. Like,
betting his unders.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
No,
this is exactly the reason why
100%.
You stay away from it.
Dude, he won 4.3% of his bets. That means he lost 95.7% of his bets.
Get in line. That's sports gambling.
Yeah, but... all right, so there's other dudes that were suspended for a year. And you're going to say, why a year for them and lifetime for this guy? Oakland A's receiver Michael Kelly, minor league players Jay Groom of the Padres, Jose Rodriguez of the Phillies, and Andrew Saalfrank of the Diamondbacks. Why a year for them and lifetime for Marcano? Marcano evidently bet on his team, and the other players did not. Those guys all placed bets on major league games that were not part of themselves. They did, however, bet on games played by their organization's major league team. So they were in the minors. They bet on their big league team. I mean, you can see the issue, right? You got buddies up there. I mean, you just can't do it. So while they were in the minors, they bet on the big leagues team. And they got the data. So Kelly bet $280,000. Won $128.30. He only made 10 bets, dude. An average of $9.92 per bet. He netted $28. He suspended for a year. Worth it? Was that worth it, bro? Groom placed 32 bets. I mean, this is Major League Baseball saying, we are Big Brother. We are watching. Don't do it. We are in your phone. Groom placed 32 bets, averaged $15.12. Dude, he lost $433.54 and is suspended for a year. Worth it? Rodriguez, 28 bets, average of $25.86. Saalfrank, 28 bets, average $15.86. He lost $272.64, and he loses a year of his career and may never get back in. What do we do? I get it, man. People like to bet. And so many of you, you like betting, and it's fun. And I know it can be addictive, and I'm not telling you that these guys are addicted, although I'm going to tell you that they got a problem. But if you're willing to throw away your career because you're going to bet $15.86 on a Major League Baseball game, we got a problem, man. And good for baseball. And I wish the other leagues would come down. The NBA came down hard on Jonte Porter, right? And if you don't recall, he was the guy who there were a lot of bets coming in on unders, 5.5 points, or he would make 3.5 3-pointers. And in 2 games where there was crazy numbers, bets came in on him, he didn't finish the game because of injury. the unders hit, and a lot of people made a lot of money, and the NBA tracked it down and was like, dude, you're done. And I'd love to hear somebody, if you're telling me that they're too harsh, I'd love to hear your reasoning. If the integrity of the game, you cannot do it. And I would argue if you're in pro football, you shouldn't be able to bet on college football because you got people back at your alma mater feeding you info. And if you're an LSU grad and you got a coach buddy or a friend buddy who's on the staff, hey, dude, quarterback's hurt, and I don't know if he's going to play, and it's Thursday, and nobody else has that info, and you can't do it.
That's also why there's been some discussions of college athletics getting into the injury report business to try to get in front of stuff like this.
And then you've got to be honest with the injury. Yeah. This is a big deal, man. And this is it just because the dude you haven't heard of. This is baseball saying, look, we ain't playing. Now, there's going to be some of you say, well, why did Ohtani get away with it? Well, this is different, right? They never were able to prove, or at least said they were never able to prove, that Ohtani bet on baseball, that it was this guy that had his phone, that whatever.
Oh, yes. It was the ball guy, right?
Well, I'm listening, Chris Carter. No, I'm absolutely like, if you would tell me 5 years from now, dude, Ohtani told me bet on baseball, they just covered it, I would be surprised, not for 1 second. I mean, Ohtani is the biggest star they have in the game, and you have never heard the name Tucupita Marcano before yesterday, 2 days ago. You don't know who that is. If I'd have asked you if he was the Spanish goalie on the World Cup team, or the newest signing for United, or the 5th-ranked tennis player in the world, or an infielder for the Padres, you wouldn't. That's a pretty good one right there. That's a pretty good pick, one of these.
You gotta get back to playing that game, man.
I know. I always give it away afterwards. It sucks. But would it surprise you if Ohtani? I mean,
there's very few things that I allow myself to be surprised about.
Yeah, and that wouldn't be one of them, right? So this is Major League Baseball saying we ain't playing around. Huge breaking news. Huge breaking news, and this is internationally huge. You may not be into tennis, but Novak Djokovic has withdrawn from the French Open. He won that big 5-setter that Jeffrey called in about, but he had the knee injury. He is withdrawn from his quarterfinal against Casper Ruud due to the right knee injury, which he sustained in the 4th round win yesterday. So this ends his defense title. He will relinquish his number 1 ranking in the world, but this is one of the Grand Slams. This is one of the biggest tournaments in the world. He underwent an MRI on his knee this morning. He has a torn medial meniscus in his right knee. He got hurt in the 2nd set of that 5-setter that went way late last night. So the 24-time Grand Slam champion, Novak Djokovic, has withdrawn from his quarterfinal match at the French. Internationally, that's huge news. All right, when we come back, we'll wrap it up. Everything you've got to know as you go through your Tuesday. Still have time for your correspondence. 505-246-0610 is the text line and the phone line. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com and JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman! Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
I'm going out, Grandma.
When are you coming home?
I'll be home late. Don't wait up, okay?
Be careful, mijito.
Love you, Grandma.
Mijito, he's a good man. Sometimes he just makes bad decisions. I tell him, mijito, cuidado, be careful. You might hurt someone. He doesn't listen.
Until you stop, okay?
Hello. It's me.
I'm Hijo, where are you?
Dale was drinking and driving. I need you to come and get me, okay? Please, Grandma? Can you just come and get me? Grandma?
Leave him in jail.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Big dogs in town from corporate. You see there's like new stuff hanging on the wall. Engineers aren't wearing shorts. They got like khakis on. Thought they were going to tuck in their shirts and everything. The big people in sports coats today. Big day around here. All right, you guys are giving me, giving us some stuff on the text line. 505-246-10. On Caitlin Clark, it says straight up, all these girls are jealous of Caitlin Clark, and that's why they beat the bleep out of her every night. I mean, yeah, there's a jealousy thing. There's a resentment thing in there, yeah. This says on the baseball betting, it's pretty freaking easy. If you're a millionaire because of sports, don't bet on sports. Feel the need to gamble, go to the casino, play blackjack, roll dice. I don't have any sympathy for dumbasses like that. I don't think anybody does, JJ. Right? I mean, if you're gonna throw your career away because you got to bet on baseball and you're in baseball, that's on you. And JJ, the numbers on these gambling, the guys in the minor league that got suspended for a year, the guys who were in the minors that didn't bet on their team. So Mercado got suspended for life. Like, he's out because he bet on his team. These guys, Kelly, Groom, Rodriguez, and Sulfonic. One dude placed 10 bets, an average of $9.92 per bet. He made $28.30. He's suspended for a year. Good on you, bro. Like, worth it. Like, Groom, 32 bets, average of $15.12 a bet. He lost $433 and loses a year of his career. And I don't know if they're ever coming back. But if it was worth it to you. All right. This is from David on Kenny Thomas. He said, did Kenny say he wished they'd play UCLA back in his day? Wasn't totally locked in, but I thought I heard that. LOL, he was there. Maybe it was a game he'd prefer not to forget. Glad the Lobos are upgrading the schedule. Patino obviously feels he has a stronger team to do so. David, did they play UCLA? I don't remember a game that they played UCLA. You might be right, but I don't remember when they did. Here's what everybody's going to be talking about as you go through your day. Boy, we spent 2 hours today talking about Caitlin Clark, the WNBA, right? Evan's laughing at me as he walks out the door. Engineer in khakis. We spent a lot of time talking about it. But that's what people are going to be talking about. Angel Reese made a comment today, said, I'm part of what's going on here too. People will be talking about that. They'll be talking about the suspensions in Major League Baseball. Tucupita Marcano, lifetime ban. Major League Baseball. Novak Djokovic is out of the French Open, not because he lost. You're like, wait a minute, I swear he won last night. He did. MRI on his knee today revealed a torn medial meniscus in his right knee. He is pulled out of the French Open. The number one player in the world is going to give up his number one player status. That's what people are going to be talking about as we go through the day. Anything else I missed? Any big news?
Well, Saturday, December 6th, 1997.
Okay, so they did play UCLA. Okay.
69-58. UCLA defeats New Mexico.
Really? Okay, so that would have been Kenny's third year. Right? Who was in that game? Did Kenny score that? Did you have a box score? No, that's cool. I didn't hit on this. I wanted to. This is a really cool event coming in golf. I know they were planning on announcing it on Thursday, but it got out yesterday. A pretty prestigious college match play golf event is coming to Twin Warriors. Men's team and women's team from Stanford, Texas, New Mexico, and New Mexico State. So it's the Pueblo of Santa Ana and Twin Warriors and Nota Begay. Four-time champion on the PGA Tour, Albuquerque Academy grad. They're going to host this first-time event scheduled for October 8th and 9th. It's Tuesday and Wednesday of Balloon Fiesta Week out at Twin Warriors. Nota said, and we're hoping to get Nota on Friday, will be the largest, most prestigious golf event to be contested in New Mexico since UNM hosted the NCAA championships. Last time was 92. This is kind of cool. So Texas, Stanford, New Mexico, and NMSU will compete in a round-robin match play format. Each team's going to play the other three teams. Total of 5 points will be available in each match. The winners of both the men and women's side will be determined by total points. And an overall team champion will be determined by cumulative total of both the men and women's points. This is really cool. Golf Channel's going to have coverage of it live from 3:30 to 6:30 that Tuesday and Wednesday. Spectators are going to be allowed to go out there, free admission. I think this is great, man. Dude, I love the notice.
Free?
Yeah, free. Stanford and Texas and New Mexico are and New Mexico State. Those are four really good programs. But I love the fact that Nota has come home and been doing great things in this month. He went to Stanford. He was all over the world. He still is all over the world as a commentator for Golf Channel. And he moved home. He's raising his family here. And he's doing great things with youth golf and now college golf. And just he's using his influence and his prestige in such a good way. I love what he's doing for this kid. I think this event's going to be great.
That's big time. Should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, this is terrific. And hopefully we'll talk to him later this week about that. But they're going to hold a press conference on Thursday to get into this. And I think it's terrific. All right. When does CeeDee Lamb get his deal? Do you think soon?
I don't know what Jerry Jones and the Cowboys are doing. If you want to wait on Dak and you don't trust him, fine. But Michael Parsons and CeeDee Lamb not being locked up yet doesn't make any sense for that franchise.
I think you're right. There's a 3-day mini camp coming up.
Like, he's just getting more and more expensive, unless they're waiting because they want to be the very last one.
We would like to thank the following sponsors
for the past: Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase and Tyreek Hill.
CeeDee Lamb's not getting more than Justin Jefferson, right?
More, no.
I mean, he's just not, right? Not more guaranteed. He's not that dude. He's really, really good. If you want to tell me, I want to be in that market, I want to be in that ballpark, and that was 4 for 140 with 88 guaranteed or 88 at signing bonus. Then you get 4 for 130 with.
He's not
80.
that dude. He's okay. He's still the top 5 receiver in the NFL.
Right.
That's close to being that dude.
He's in the ballpark. You think he's Justin Jefferson?
I think if you want to say Jefferson, Chase, Hill, then I'd put Lamb right there.
So you think he's the 4th best receiver in the NFL? All right. But you still don't get to. Maybe you do. I don't think every guy gets to reset the market. But maybe they do. And that's why they're holding out. Those are the 4 best guys in the NFL right now. Who else is?
Well, I think Amon-Ra St. Brown is in that conversation. I think it
is Amari Cooper kind of that like conversation.
Not anymore.
Is the guy from
4
the
years
Eagles?
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown is in that conversation.
I think when you look at, you can say like Jefferson and Chase and Hill, they feel a little bit different. And then I think when you look at Devontae Adams, CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown, like those guys kind of ebb and flow right behind him.
All right, thanks to Kenny Thomas. He was with us today. We kicked it with Kenny. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On's here at 4, and then it is Isotopes in Sacramento. West Coast game tonight, later start. We're back with award-winning radio tomorrow morning. We'll start at 7 a.m. Adrian looks great on the visual side. Thank you for digging up all the video of everything we were talking about. It's not unnoticed, and I think it looks terrific. JJ, big day.
Huge day.
Yeah, I know. Enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
What's going on? Who are you guys?
Well, sir, I'm going to pick you up at the DWI checkpoint for drunk driving.
And that's when I have to come down to get you out of jail.
Well, temporarily. I'm Judge Torres. They call him the Hammer. Hey, hot off the presses, champ.
I'm real proud of you, honey.
Way to make them happy back home, Captain. Who's that? That's your new buddy in jail.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Young driver, this one. Hard to get her out. She'd been drinking. This one. Both of them gone. They'd been drinking, and he drove clear off the road. This was my family. Drunk driver hit us. And my wife. And our daughter. They didn't make it.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh? I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom. Sweet? Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight. Boom! Boom!
These days, it's important to know people in business.